outside. It's a saw day. We're cutting wood. Here we go. So I've got this pile of white oak back here that I am in great need of. I need dry white oak because I have restaurants that buy white oak for smoking meat and they need it now, but I don't have any dry white oak. I sold it all. It's all gone. So I need to get this stuff cut, split it down small enough so it can start drying as soon as possible so that I can sell some of it. Now, there is some sticks in here, like this one right here is red oak, and I will pull that out and I will put it over into the red oak pile. I think there's some hickory in here somewhere too. There's another red oak right here. I'll pull that out of there. And then this is all white oak also. Now, I had intended on running all this with the processor, but I found out yesterday my processor is going to be coming back in 1 week. So I don't want to just sit here and not do anything because I like to cut anyway. So we're going to cut some wood today. So that is the plan. I'm going to take it from here with the tractor. We're going to take it over here to the other side. I'll walk across. It'll take me a week to get there, so be patient. Walking. I'm going to move the trailer, by the way. We use a tractor to bring them over. Still walking. I got 1/4 of a mile. Well, maybe it's a half a mile of concrete here to walk across. We're going to bring it over here and we're going to cut right in this area because this is an area that's easy for me to clean out. The splitter's here, the elevator's here, so it works good to split the wood right here. And I also have this chunk of white oak, that chunk of white oak right there. These are red oak, so I will take that and put it over into the red oak pile, and I'll use the tractor to do that. I also just got a text from my boilerwood customer that I already delivered 4 loads to, and they want 2 more loads. But they're getting some stuff done at their place, and it's going to be all tore up. So there's some work being done, but they want me to have it for them in a couple months, but I'm not going to worry about cutting that yet because it's not wood that they need for this year. It's for next year, so it's a 1.5 years away. But this white oak needs to get done. So that is the goal for today, cut white oak. Now I've got my saws here. I've got the 572G, the 572 regular XP, and then the 592. I got them all sharp. They're all gassed and oiled up, and they're ready to rock and roll. So we're gonna grab some wood. I'm gonna walk back over here with another, get my steps in today. We're gonna come back over to the tractor. I am going to move the trailer. I'm gonna park that over here, and then I'm going to pick out that white oak that's in there, hold that up with the tractor, and then cut. But I'm gonna block everything right over in that area. Probably try to keep it over towards that corner so that I can get in here with equipment. Because eventually, in the next couple days, I am gonna also do some splitting, and then I have a bin built for the white oak already too. How you like my hat? Pretty cool, huh? Got this from a gentleman at the International Firewood show. He drove all the way up from Texas. Pretty cool looking hat, so I had to try it out today. Nice lid, as they say. All right, let's cut. So that was the fun part of my day. I just spent about, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes it took to move the wood from over in that corner over here. I did take out some of the really nice logs and set those to the side because those could be run on the processor. And I specifically kind of wanted to do this pallet because I knew there was a lot of uglies in here, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Shattered ones like this. If you look at that, it's shattered. Well, I'll come around to the other side here. But look at all the knots on here. There's knots all over in here. This would not go through the processor well. So a lot of these are shattered like that one. You can see it's all split. There's a lot of real bananas in here. A lot of big crotches. You can't see them, but there's a lot of knots in here, and a lot of these that I pulled out. And this big one here. I'll go around to the other side so you can see. So a lot of things with a lot of knots like this. A lot of them like that weren't trimmed very well. Because this was tree service wood that I got from Lugger Jason from his tree guys. And underneath here, you can't see them, but there's a lot of them that are real crotchy. A lot of them that got, you know, crotches like this all along the whole log. A lot of knobs and things. This is the stuff that's actually gonna be better hand cutting anyway. So there's a couple cords here, so I'll get these cut up. But the fun might be short-lived. They said we could have a chance of afternoon thunder showers. Well, it's not afternoon, it's still morning. That big dark bluish, dark gray kind of thing is coming towards us, and I can hear thunder in the distance. So I might only be able to cut for about an hour, and we're gonna have a storm, and I'll just have to sit it out, maybe go get some lunch or something, but at least I can get started. So I am gonna use the tractor. Like you can see, I got this one lifted up here. So I'll cut this off, and then I'll pick up this long one here, and I'll cut it off, and then maybe some of these I will too. But a lot of this for me is actually easier to cut in the log pile. Because I cut a lot in log piles, so I just kind of know what to do. The reason a lot of guys like to cut with the logs hanging up like this, either on forks or on a grapple, is you can stand up and just go right down the log and cut. And well, yes, I agree with that, it's nice, but then you've got to also set the saw down, get back on the tractor. A lot of times it's not running, start it back up, pick up another log, lift it up, get it in position, cut it. So it's much slower. It's easier on your back, I give you that, that's true. But it's much slower. So if you got all day long and you out here just to have fun and you're only gonna cut a little bit, yeah, then I suppose you could use the tractor and the grapple or forks where you could do that. But fastest way for me to do it is cut the whole log, cut the whole log, cut the whole log, roll them out of there. Cut the whole log, cut the whole log. I just eat my way right into it. I've cut in log piles now for decades, and it's just way easier this way for me. It's faster. Here's another crotchy one, you see there? Big knots like that. Knots like that, knots like that. There's one under there. So all this stuff is going to be better off hand cut. As you can see how ugly this one is here. So, all right, time to start up the saws and get to work. storm is here. I just saw a big flash of lightning and a boom like right after it, and I can feel some sprinkles. So it's rumbling. So I don't really want to be out here because, like a lot of you, I am allergic to lightning. I'm very allergic to lightning. Everything I have is metallic. Like this stick I'm hanging on to right now with the camera is an aluminum pole. I got a little bit here done, and yeah, cutting with the grapple is nice, but it's slow. It's easier just to cut in the pile. All right. Yeah, it's booming off in the distance there. And over there I can see it's booming too. So I'm gonna go eat some lunch. I'll be right back. Well, I just got back. We had pouring rain for, I don't know, half an hour or so. Lots of lightning all around. And unfortunately, there's more coming. I got about a half hour. I just looked at the radar, and I think I might be able to cut through most of this. I don't know. I'm gonna start the saws and start cutting right now because it's gonna come again. We're supposed to get another boomer coming towards us. They keep saying that we're gonna have pop-up storms, and that's what we're getting. So, like popcorn, I guess. I'm gonna do what I can do. A half hour is a half hour of cutting, so start up the saws. cut through this one here, and right there, you look right there, you can see where I hit the ground. Right where that white concrete is, I hit it right there. Felt it, saw it, dull. And my chain is loose too, so time to grab the next saw. is now a couple hours later, probably 3 hours later from when I was cutting. We had another storm come through. It didn't rain heavy, but just enough that I didn't want to be out here. There was some lightning again, so I ran for cover. And then I came back, and I got this all cut up. Instead of splitting this, I want to make room because I found out my processor's coming in 5 days. It'll be here, something like that, 5-6 days. So what I did was I started sorting all through all this small wood here, this ash. So it's starting to rain again now. So I've been taking all these logs that were here and putting them over where I had all the white oak on the other side of the tractor over here. So I stacked all these logs here. So this is all ash. And these are the nice ones for the processor. They're pretty much all different sizes. There's really no, but they're decent sized stuff. And I put a few over here. Oh, there's a big bunch of rain coming. So good thing I'm finishing this up. There's a whole bunch coming right at us. So I got that cleaned up a little bit. Tomorrow I'm gonna finish it. I hope, that's my plan, to make more room here. And then we'll start splitting. That'll happen tomorrow, 5:30 a.m. When you come back, it's starting to rain. I'm heading inside. I'm going home. Good night, Reed.